A new day, a new adrenaline rush. Welcome back to Anitaku, where we break down the anime that make your heart race and your soul cheer. Now, the last 5 years have been straight up insane for sports anime. From volleyball legends chasing greatness to figure skaters defying the limits of grace and pain. Every show here brought passion, sweat, and raw emotion. So lace up, stretch out, and let's dive into the top 10 best sports anime of 2020 to 2025. The ones that reminded us why we fall in love with competition in the first place. Kicking off our countdown is a series that hits you right in the chest, Bukyaku Battery. On the surface, it's a baseball anime, but underneath the bats and bases lies a heartfelt story about friendship, redemption, and the fear of losing what once made you great. Meet Haruka Kiyomine, a prodigy pitcher with the kind of raw talent that could shake any stadium. And by his side is Kei Konami, a genius catcher known for his sharp instincts and unshakable confidence. Together, they were an unstoppable duo in middle school, until tragedy struck. Kei loses his memories, including his passion for the game, and suddenly everything they built together falls apart. Now in high school, Haruka and Kei find themselves surrounded by a new team of misfits, dreamers, and once great players trying to start over. What makes Bukyaku Battery special isn't just the action, it's the quiet moments, the tension between old bonds and new beginnings, the struggle of rediscovering love for the game when your heart's been shattered by it. Every pitch feels personal, every hit carries emotion, and through stunning animation and nuanced storytelling, Bukyaku Battery reminds us that sometimes the hardest battles aren't against rival teams, they're against your own doubts. Sliding into number 9, we've got Remain, a criminally underrated gem from MAPPA that dives deep literally into the world of water polo and the human heart. At first glance, it looks like your typical sports comeback story. A young prodigy returning to the game he once dominated, but Remain flips that trope on its head. Minato Kiyomizu, once a middle school water polo star, wakes up from a coma with no memory of his past 3 years. The catch? He's forgotten everything. And the techniques, the passion, even the people who once looked up to him. It's like being a champion reborn, but with no idea who you even were. The series doesn't just focus on the splashy sports action, it's about rebuilding identity from scratch. Every practice, every match, every struggle in that cold pool becomes a metaphor for rediscovering himself. And in true MAPPA fashion, the animation is fluid, intense, and full of emotion. Each underwater scene feels like a silent battle between memory and willpower. Remain isn't about being the best, it's about fighting your way back when you've lost everything. Your skill, your confidence, your past. It's a comeback story that hits where it hurts, but reminds you that even when life wipes your slate clean, your passion finds its way back. At number 8, we're hitting the gas with Overtake. A sports anime that takes you right to the roaring edge of the racetrack and shows you that speed isn't just about horsepower, it's about heart. The story follows Kuya Madoka, a burned out photojournalist who's lost his passion for life and his art. That is, until he crosses paths with Haruka Asahina, a determined young Formula 4 driver chasing his dream of standing on the world stage. From that moment on, Overtake becomes less about racing cars and more about racing fate. Two broken souls from different worlds, pushing each other past every limit. Unlike your typical sports anime, Overtake focuses on emotion, grit, and the silent pressure of the track. You can feel every vibration of the engine, every bead of sweat before the signal turns green. But what really drives this series is its raw human core, the way both characters struggle with failure, redemption, and finding meaning again in something they love. Visually, it's stunning. Metallic reflections, roaring sound design, and crisp animation that makes each race feel cinematic. The tension builds lap by lap until you're gripping your seat like you're behind the wheel yourself. Overtake reminds us that no matter how fast the world moves, passion is the real fuel that keeps us alive. And sometimes, the finish line isn't where the race ends, it's where you finally find yourself again. At number 7, we're switching gears, literally, in with Yowamushi Pedal Limit Break, the latest and most intense chapter in one of anime's most iconic cycling sagas. If you followed Onoda Sakamichi's journey from an otaku who loved anime theme songs to a high-speed road racer conquering brutal mountain climbs, this season is the payoff you've been pedaling toward. Limit Break picks up right in the heat of the Inter-High tournament, where the stakes couldn't be higher. Every episode feels like a sprint to glory. The sweat, the strategy, the sheer pain in those final climbs, it's all dialed up to 11. You can feel the gears grinding, the wheels slicing through wind, and that electric silence right before someone launches a desperate attack on the the final corner. What makes Limit Break so damn good isn't just the action, it's the passion and teamwork that keeps these cyclists pushing forward. Sohoku's spirit never dies, no matter how exhausted they get. Every rival, from Hakone to Kyoto Fushimi, has something to prove, and that's what makes every finish line feel like a war between hearts. The animation, smooth and adrenaline-packed, the soundtrack, a perfect mix of hype and emotion. And for longtime fans, this season delivers the emotional closure and high-stakes energy that the series has been building up for years. Whether you're into sports anime or just love stories about grit and endurance, Yowamushi Pedal Limit Break is pure motivation on wheels, proving that no matter how steep the climb, the only real limit is the one you set yourself. Gliding into number 6, we've got Medalist, one of the most beautifully underrated sports anime in recent years. This isn't just about competition, it's about dreams, mentorship, and the raw emotion of chasing perfection on the ice. If you thought figure skating couldn't make your heart race, Medalist will prove you wrong in the first episode. The story follows Tsukasa, a former skater whose career didn't quite go as planned, and Inori, a shy, clumsy little girl who discovers an unexpected gift for skating. What starts as a simple coach-student relationship quickly becomes one of the most heartfelt partnerships in sports anime. It's about redemption for him, discovery for her, and the beauty of what happens when two broken dreams decide to rise together. Unlike many sports anime that focus purely on the hype of matches, Medalist dives deep into the artistry and discipline of figure skating. Every spin, every fall, every drop of sweat carries weight, and the series captures that with stunning animation and emotional storytelling. You can literally feel the chill of the rink, the weight of expectation, and the rush of landing a perfect routine. What makes Medalist hit so hard is its realism. It doesn't sugarcoat the sacrifices athletes make, from endless practice to self-doubt and burnout, but it balances that struggle with hope, showing how passion can ignite even in the darkest moments. If you're into sports anime that feel real, not just adrenaline but heart, then Medalist deserves a gold medal in storytelling. It's elegant, emotional, and one of the most inspiring series to come out in the last few years. Crashing into number 5 with a burst of neon adrenaline, SK8 The Infinity is pure chaos on wheels. A wild, colorful, and emotional ride through the underground world of street skateboarding. Forget polite competitions or clean-cut tournaments. This is the raw, rule-breaking side of the sport where passion burns hotter than asphalt set in Okinawa. The story kicks off when Reki, a carefree skater obsessed with customizing boards, introduces his Canadian transfer student friend Langa to the secret world of S, an illegal, no-holds-barred downhill race where skaters risk bones, boards, and pride. Langa, who's never even skated before, soon shocks everyone with his snowboarding skills, translating them into a style so slick it redefines what it means to skate. The dynamic between Reki and Langa is the emotional core of the show, a friendship built on shared passion, envy, and admiration. Their chemistry gives the series its heart, while the rivalries and over-the-top characters give it flair. And let's talk about the races. Studio Bones went absolutely insane with the animation. Every drift, flip, and fall is animated with cinematic detail. No boards splinter, sparks fly, and the sense of speed is unreal. But SK8, The Infinity, isn't just about tricks and crashes. It's about identity, freedom, and self-expression. Every character, from the flamboyant Atom to the chill Shadow, embodies a different form of rebellion and individuality. The soundtrack slaps, the visuals pop, and the storytelling has that perfect mix of hype and heart that makes you want to grab a board and ride downhill at midnight. Stepping up to the plate at number 4, Ace of Diamond. Act 2 is the kind of sports anime that captures the pure, pounding heartbeat of competition. That mix of tension, pride, and the will to never back down, no matter the odds. This isn't just about baseball. It's about pressure, teamwork, and the crushing weight of expectations that come with wearing a legendary jersey. We follow Eijun Sawamura, Saito High's fiery left-handed pitcher, as he continues his journey toward becoming the team's true ace. After years of sweat, losses, and brutal training, Saito finally earns a spot at the National Spring Koshien Tournament, Japan's most prestigious stage for high school baseball. But this time, it's not just about glory, it's about proving every ounce of hard work was worth it. The brilliance of Ace of Diamond. Act 2 lies in how real it feels. Every pitch has tension, every swing carries weight, and every mistake stings. You can feel the pressure Sawamura's under when the crowd roars. The bases are loaded and one bad throw could end everything. The storytelling captures not only the thrill of victory, but the quiet moments of doubt and frustration that define every athlete's journey. Studio Madhouse and Production IG went all out here. The animation is crisp, the sound design makes you feel like you're right there on the diamond, and the voice acting delivers the intensity of a full stadium crowd in your headphones. And unlike most sports anime that lean on hype alone, Acta 2 dives deep into the mental side of competition, ego clashes, leadership struggles, and the unspoken fear of being replaced. If you're a fan of teamwork, growth, and that gritty drive to become #1, this series will have you holding your breath through every inning, and yes, it's fully dubbed in English, so you can catch all the heated moments without missing a single shout or emotional breakdown. Ace of Diamond. Acta 2 isn't just another sports sequel, it's the emotional and competitive peak of a story that defines what it means to chase perfection in the face of failure. Every episode hits like a fastball straight to the heart. Sliding into number 3, Aashi is one of the most realistic and emotionally gripping soccer anime ever made. Forget over-the-top special moves or supernatural kicks. This series keeps its feet firmly planted in the world of real strategy, teamwork, and the struggle to grow under pressure. It's grounded, intelligent, and honestly one of the best representations of how a true athlete develops both on and off the pitch. The story follows Ashito Aoi, a talented but hot-headed middle schooler from the countryside, after a fateful match where his raw talent catches the eye of Tatsuya Fukuda, a former pro and current youth coach for Tokyo Esperion. Ashido is invited to join their elite academy. From there, the real game begins. Not just learning advanced tactics and positional play, but learning humility, discipline, and what it means to truly play as a team. What makes Aoashi stand out is how deeply it dives into the intelligence of soccer. You'll learn about formations, off-the-ball movement, and how each player's role connects like gears in a machine. Every match feels alive, every mistake matters, and you can see Ashido evolve from a selfish striker to a visionary playmaker who reads the field like a chessboard. It's not just character growth, it's tactical brilliance. The animation by Production IG is smooth and deliberate, capturing the speed and grace of real football without relying on exaggeration. Add to that a phenomenal soundtrack and crisp voice acting, including an excellent English dub, and you've got a sports anime that hits as hard emotionally as it does competitively. What makes Aoashi truly special, though, is its heart. It's a coming-of-age story wrapped in sweat, grass stains, and emotional breakdowns. It's about discovering your limits, redefining your dreams, and realizing that being great isn't just about talent. It's about how you see the game and the people around you. If you're tired of flashy fantasy sports shows and want something that feels real, Aoashi is your ultimate goal. It's inspiring, heartfelt, and tactical as hell. The perfect anime for anyone who's ever chased a dream and learned that greatness comes from the grind. Stepping up at number 2, we've got Blue Lock, the anime that took the world by storm and turned soccer into a psychological battlefield. Forget teamwork, forget fair play. This show screams ego is everything, and somehow it works. Blue Lock isn't just a sports anime, it's a survival game wrapped in soccer boots and pure adrenaline. After Japan's crushing World Cup failure, the government backs a radical plan, the Blue Lock Project, an intense training program designed to forge the world's greatest striker. 300 of Japan's top young forwards are locked inside a massive facility and forced to battle each other to prove who's the most selfish, most ruthless, and most goal-hungry player in the country. There's no mercy, no team spirit, just raw ambition and the will to crush anyone in your way. Our protagonist, Yoichi Isagi, starts off as your average high school player with good instincts but no killer edge. Inside Blue Lock, though, he's forced to question everything. His values, his style, even what it means to play soccer. Under the twisted guidance of Jinpachi Ego, the players are pushed past their limits, and every match becomes a psychological war zone where confidence and creativity matter more than teamwork. The animation by Studio 8-Bit is downright electric. Every kick, every feint, every ego-awakening moment feels like it's ripped straight out of an action anime. The intensity is insane. Glowing auras, shattered fields, dynamic camera spins, all adding to that sense of holy hell, these guys are fighting for their lives. What truly sets Blue Lock apart, though, is how it reframes the concept of competition. It's not just about winning, it's about becoming the reason your team wins. It's about owning your talent unapologetically, believing that selfishness can fuel greatness. And now with Season 2 airing in 2024 to 2025, the stakes are even higher. higher. The players are sharper, the egos are bigger, and the animation has hit a new level of polish. Between Asagi's evolution, Bachira's madness, and Rin's icy brilliance, it's no wonder Blue Lock has become the most talked about sports anime in years. Bottom line. Blue Lock is what happens when you mix Squid Game with HighQ, crank up the tension, and add soccer balls. It's fierce, stylish, and absolutely relentless. If you love sports anime with attitude, this one doesn't just kick, it scores. And taking the crown, no questions asked, is HighQ. To the top, the undisputed king of sports anime. This isn't just a story about volleyball, it's a story about life, passion, and the kind of unshakable drive that makes your heart pound even when the ball's not on your side. HighQ didn't just set the bar for sports anime, it is the bar. We follow Shoyo Hinata, the undersized, unstoppable ball of energy who dreams of soaring like the little giant. Alongside Tobio Kageyama, his genius but arrogant setter rival turned partner, the two lead Karasuno High toward the national championship. But this final stretch to the top is where everything hits its peak. Every rally, every spike, every damn heartbeat feels like a war cry echoing across the court. You feel the tension in every pass, the thrill in every ace, and the agony in every near miss. Each match isn't just a game. It's a full-blown emotional roller coaster that makes you laugh, cheer, grit your teeth, and occasionally shed a tear for a team you've never physically met. The animation by Production IG is nothing short of god tier. You can feel the sweat, the tension, the electricity in the air. Every jump looks like a leap of faith, every dive like a life or death move. It's kinetic, emotional, and painfully human. No superpowers, just pure determination and teamwork at its rawest. You watch Hinata grow, not just in skill, but in heart, pushing himself past limits, dragging his teammates with him, and transforming doubt into courage. Kageyama's journey from prideful perfectionist to a true team player hits every note of growth you didn't know you needed, and the side characters, they're not just filler. Every Karasuno member gets their moment to shine, reminding you that a team's strength isn't just in its stars, but in its unity and the sound design. Don't even get me started. The roar of the crowd, the slap of the ball, the quiet before that game-winning serve. HighQ makes you live every second. The music punctuates tension and triumph perfectly, turning even routine drills into cinematic sequences. That heart-pounding beat when a critical point is about to be won, the silence before the spike. It all hits you like you're standing right on the court. HighQ doesn't just make you watch volleyball, it makes you feel it in your bones. By the time the credits roll, you're not just watching a team chase victory, you're watching dreams collide. It's friendship, rivalry, heartbreak, triumph, everything that makes sports beautiful wrapped into one flawless story. The emotional stakes are so high that even the smallest victory feels monumental, and even defeat teaches you something about resilience, hope, and courage. And now with the HighQ. Final movie wrapping up this legendary saga, fans are already calling it the greatest sports anime ever made. And honestly, they're damn right. This isn't just volleyball, it's art in motion. Every spike, every block, every perfectly timed play cements HighQ's place in anime history, not just as entertainment, but as an experience. HighQ doesn't just end this list, it spikes it straight into history, leaving a legacy that will inspire players, fans, and dreamers for generations to come. And that wraps up the countdown for the top 10 sports anime that'll make your blood pump and your soul scream for more. From the icy pools of Remain to the roaring engines in Overtake, from the burning fields of Blue Lock to the sky-high passion of HighQ, each one of these shows proves that sports anime isn't just about the game. It's about the grind, the glory, and the guts it takes to keep going when everything's against you. Whether you're chasing your own goals or just vibing with the intensity of these stories, remember, it's not the win that defines you, it's the fight to get there. So which of these anime hit you the hardest? Drop your favorite in the comments, because we know some of you are die-hard HighQ stans and others will swear Blue Lock is the new king either way. You're all part of the same team here. This has been your boy, signing off. And if you loved this countdown, make sure to hit that like button harder than Hinata spikes a quick set. Until next time, keep training, keep dreaming, and keep that fire burning, because in anime, just like in life, the game never really ends.